Actually, I should go to my channel. Wait, is it? There's not even. Actually, there it is. I guess I'll just have that open over there. Anyway, sometimes passes. Red. Ugh. Let's see if I can do this on a regular basis. Yeah, just do something like that. Oh, move that. Okay, let's see. Horrible. Running here, okay? Try to draw like a character over here. When I draw, I want to make sure like there's a focal point, and then I'll just have like the legs over here, something like that. She has her little snack bowl trailing around her arm like this. And I'll have another arm doing this. The way that you draw like this, I've been trying to unconsciously understand. What the heck was that? I'm trying to unconsciously understand is just understanding the focal points. Like what is important to important to the page. So I'll draw her. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Alright. Whatever. No poll. We're seeing how this goes. We're just seeing how this goes. This is not really the best thing to do when live streaming thumbnailing, because usually it takes a lot of time. Well, not a lot of time, but a lot of effort, somewhat, of just looking at a blank page. Is everyone okay in there? Okay. I'll draw her. Like that. You can draw fast. No, it's just scribbles. Thank you though. Oh, this is how I thumbnail. Do the very simple drawings of my comics. I appreciate it, and also welcome to the chat, Lauren. Welcome to the chat. It's like the one of the least sexy things about making these comics, because you don't really know what it will turn out to be until it gets the pretty parts. But these are just the laying. Hmm. I think she's like looking over here. I should probably make that a ritual, honestly. Oh yeah, someone left a like. I appreciate it. I'll have Karen over here. She has her arms up here, right? and then the bigger character over here. I think this is kind of a funny thing that you don't know what's happening until until way later when I refine it. It's kind of funny though. It's pretty funny. I know the thing. What you drawing? Oh, I'm doing the thumbnails of the second chapter of my comic called Chimera Island. I just uploaded the last part of the first chapter on my YouTube channel a couple hours ago. So, if you're interested in these little scratches, you can look on my channel to see what they look like in less scratchy form. Also, welcome to the chat ring. Let's see. Walks in the Bull magazine. Everyone's okay. I'll have a speech bubble over here. It's like everyone's okay. Cool, bro. Looks great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright. Well. Hmm. I think I'll have another one. She's like, don't worry about it, Red. Like right here, should be. Okay. My drawings have a creepy look to them. Hey, you gotta play towards your strengths, as they always say. Hmm. Roll. Should have a role play. Oh, okay. These are the gonna be too. Okay. Actually, yeah, I can work with this. I keep knocking. I keep knocking the thing. I apologize. He's looking at like. Like, don't worry about it. Trying to remember, have the muscle memory of these characters. I was thinking like I wanted to stream today, but I just don't know. I was like thinking about what should I stream, and I just usually get my inspiration just by looking at other people's stuff, other people's live streams, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't been thumbnailing in a while, and I feel like I got a thumbnail like around four more, four more things. Okay, that's not great. I should probably think about the speech bubbles first, because those are usually always the things that people will always look at in the hierarchy. Hey, Salma, how you doing? And also, I'm trying to figure out a good way to do stuff like this. A good setup for stuff like this. A good, like setting up good angles and whatnot. I still don't know what breed of chicken they are. I'll keep to these whatchamacallit. I'll keep to these whatchamacallit, these ideas, these models until whatchamacallit, until I have a better understanding. Did you go to school to I tried to go to school for graphic design and such, but I wasn't really feeling like they were teaching me anything that I already didn't know. And I always wanted to make comics for a living. And I remember my instructor said like don't there's never any money in comics, and that never made sense to me. You know what I mean? Wait, I was like that never made sense to me. So, and that was like a couple years ago. Um, right now it's still been pretty difficult, but now I'm starting to piece together like everything that I know, and it still feels pretty plausible. I think I have an idea of how to do it. I have an idea of how to do it. All I have to do now is formulate my comics, and I'm using YouTube to do it. What I have to do now is formulate my comics in a way that people can find it and digest it. So I'm just flooding my YouTube channel with my comics, and I've just been converting everything into a video for like the past couple of months, and so far it's been pretty. It's been better than YouTube has been treating me better than any other social media. So I'm sticking with this and trying to explore how YouTube where YouTube will take me, or how YouTube can like get me to the goals that I want to reach. So that was over explaining. Probably boring. I'm sorry. You didn't see come here to see my hand gestures and whatnot. Uh, okay, so uh, Red looks at Ruth's shining optimism, then Alicia looks at Red. Okay, so I'll have like one of Ruth looking at the girl. Already another quarter to the next 100 subs. Yeah, man. Welcome back to the chat, young Buddha. Well, even if there's no money in it, it's something you enjoy doing. That's important. That's the important part. Don't let people tell you you can't do something, because they're usually the ones who can't. Up, yeah. I it's writing. I enjoy drawing. Um, but I enjoy doing it. I don't really enjoy doing it for other people as much. I noticed. Okay, let's see. I want to do like a repeat. Okay, I know how to do a repeat. What I want to do right now is like a four-panel thing, right? So what's happening is I want her to look at the kid, and the kid has like gleaming with optimism, and then she's looking at the older sister, and she's like, no, and she's just shaking her head like, don't tell her. So I'm just trying to think about how I can relay that in real time. But it's really but going back to the making money in comics thing, it's really interesting how a lot of people in comics, they really just don't know how to do it either. A lot of independents, they yearn for like a what's that word? They yearn for being recognized by publishers, but the thing is, publishers don't really know what to do with intellectual properties that don't already sell. And then you have other sites that promises a publication, but not syndication. Uh, that kind of makes it weird for that makes everybody feel like a perpetual state that they're not going to have legitimacy unless they get notified by their idols. And I'm like, man, your idols are not going to pay your bills. And just because your idols probably don't think you're making good stuff doesn't mean you're not making good stuff. It just means you're showing your stuff to people who don't care. You know what I mean? I think you're on the right path. YouTube is a great for animation. Look at me, Canyon. Oh yeah, Meat Canyon's been doing pretty good. I also noticed that Meat Canyon has been like taking a break from animation, because like the algorithm has been like kind of kicking them back and forth and whatnot. But that's that's something different, you know. from like what I'm doing. But yeah, there are people, independent animators, that made YouTube, that's making YouTube their home for animation. I call my stuff, I call myself stuff animations, but it's but it's real, but they're really motion comics, more or less slideshows. But I don't think anybody really cares about it that much until people actually care. But yeah, I do feel like YouTube is the wave. It, well, has always been that answer. I just don't think people really have really had the savvy to understand how they can make it work for them, or just they haven't had the idea of how to convert their stuff into a larger format. And this video that parodied the Swifties, oh yeah, those Swifties were pretty interesting. I wonder what makes people be like that. That is mostly why he took a break. Oh yeah, it's just that's very unfortunate. Let me see if I can draw like her nodding her head like no, don't tell her. There we go. This is a cool thing. This is a cool thing about it. Also, it can't be a fun thing to do to make a video and a quick succession, make an animation with quick succession, and be beholden to the gods of YouTube. If you want to be a little bit too spicy, like you have to you have to take it down. All that hard work, kind of like his Ice Spice video. It was just deemed too raunchy for YouTube. Let's see. The the squinting face is so funny. It really gives the stare substance. Like, okay, so I guess what's happening right now, the middle older eldest sibling is walking by the youngest sibling's room, and she sees the oldest sibling helping the youngest sibling dance, even though the oldest sibling doesn't dance at all. She's like, "What's going on here? Y'all working out?" And she's like, "Don't worry about it." And she's like, she's like telling the middle older sibling or whatever. Oh, wait, no, this is the youngest oldest sibling, right? Because there's like in three pairs, like the middle child towards like the youngest side. I don't know how you say it. And she's saying, "Oh yeah, she's helping me prepare for a recital." And like prepare for a recital, and the middle the middle youngest sibling or whatever, she knows something that the youngest sibling doesn't. Well, but all the siblings know something that she doesn't. So she's about to tell her, but the oldest sibling's like, "Nah, don't tell her at all." And she's like, "Whatever. I'm going. I'm whatever." it harkens back to memories of being a child, being the youngest sibling, and having all your older siblings just keeping you out of the loop for one reason or another. True, but then again, the algorithm can be so whack. YouTube really about freedom per se. It is about that. It's more about. I see it as more of an opportunity to have your work be seen by a larger audience than any other website because YouTube is such a good search engine. Have you tried drawing a superhero comic? I do. I'm working on actually two superhero comics. One's called Just a Reaper. That one's about a young Grim Reaper trying to keep hell off Earth, and another one's called Let's Go Metal Hero. That one's for like a younger demographic. Just a Reaper's for an older demographic. Well, Let's Go Metal Hero's for a younger one. And Let's Go Metal Hero is about two siblings who want to turn a robot into a superhero. Oh, what's good, Mason? What's up, Bree? I thought you could get away from streaming without what? You thought you can get away from streaming without me watching? You don't show up to my Persona streams. That's what I thought. I meant monetization and demonetization. Oh yeah, for real, for real. That's about it. I wonder what will get me demonetized on YouTube with my comics. I don't think anything I make is like too edgy. Oh, cool! Gives me the Iron Giant vibes. Yeah, I was mostly inspired by one episode of wait, one episode of what was it? Superman the animated series, where there were two kids who found a washed up Amazo, and they wanted to turn like Amazo into like their own metal Superman. But what ended up happening, he got his memories back and wanted to kill Superman and the kids. But I was like, what if we didn't have to abide by the status quo? So I just decided to make my own little idea based off of it. And I got my friend, Matt Fennell. He also works on, well, Just a Reaper was his idea. So I asked for him to help me out with this thing, and he gave his own little spin on it, and that was more of an original idea. I was making cake last week. Also, reading Beastars has gotten me wanting to experiment more with the panels. I feel because I notice reading that manga is that sometimes there are just no gutters, and I realize that sometimes having gutters can really make uh box in the composition of the entire page. This one that I'm working on, Khmer Island, it's more of a slice of life thing, slice of life plot, but it's I want every chapter to be more or less a contained story that has its own message. That has every chapter has its own message. So if you just read one chapter it's it's whatchamacallit? What do they call it? In a vacuum, for lack of a better term, you would still take away something cool. I feel like you would still take away a message from it. Because I love having messages or arguments in the stories that I create. I kind of want a shot where the older sister is over here. Man, that's not good. I gotta think about the composition real quick because I was gonna do a composition where like everybody was like looking over here, like this was the focal point. But I'm like, that's not pretty. That's not good composition. So if I try to do the adult over here and the youngest eldest over here, what's it? Wait, don't tie yourself up too early. Thanks, I won't. Shouldn't you be at the shop by now? She's like, thank. Actually, no. I'll probably do like a mid shot because I have like a lot of I still have like a couple of dialogue over here. this is a page, and this is a panel, and this is a panel. Usually, what I notice when I have troubles writing dialogue is that I have characters ask questions, so I let the characters learn as the audience do, as the audience do. Honestly, like dialogue has. At first, I was people told me that I write pretty well dialogue, but I remember when I started writing like book 3 of Purgatory Academy, chapter 1. I written like the way I wrote the characters talking to each other. It felt like they were just talking, giving X to a proofread. He was like, they sound so robotic. They're just talking at each other, not each other. And then I remember when I forgot what I was looking. I was like probably just watching TV, and I started paying attention to like how many questions were in like were in a scene. How many questions were people asking, you know, and how often did a question occur in the conversation, and how did that help put the plot forward or the story forward. That's what I usually do with dialogue, or you just have two characters um, having some sort of conflict, trying to figure out like what are they trying to get out of the scene in question. That's kind of what I do, and I hope that helped. I have to tell you, that was not too early. That's what you're saying over here. She's like, thanks, I. Over here, you'll be like, thanks, I won't. And another speech bubble is like, shouldn't you be at work? So this is. It's like, thanks, I won't. Yeah. And she's like, all happy right here. I was gonna do this. I was gonna like focus heavy on making these thumbnails when I'm on vacation, like later this week. But I was like, what? But now I'm thinking about streaming on different times. Like probably do more artwork at like 5, or probably yeah, like just 5 p.m. Mm, because when I'm looking at the my analytics, it says most people are online from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. for my audience specifically. But I think I can try it out. I'm gonna try it out a little bit more. Keep experimenting. Keep experimenting. Are you East Coast or West Coast? I'm East Coast. Oh yeah, I'm great at writing narrator dialogue, not first person though. I posted one video again. Congratulations. Same. I notice when I stream in the mornings, I get more people not in America because they're watching streams at night, and that makes sense. That makes sense. So I'm like, maybe I should stream at night so I can get more a better its algorithm and whatnot. I got 20 subscribers. Congratulations. Fit 30 more, and you'll be able to live stream. But I think you got to turn that on, and they'll have to okay you for it. But no worries, you will get okayed. Maybe buying YouTube Premium puts you on the algorithm. Nah, I ain't never buying YouTube Premium. That would be a crazy thing. I feel like somebody would have recognized that hack though. If YouTube Premium, I think my friend has YouTube Premium. if he starts streaming, when I told him he should start streaming, and his streams go crazy, there might be something to uh that theory. Okay. Oh yeah. I think one of these things that I'm gonna like hate about my comics until I find out how to get better is how gridded everything is. It doesn't feel dynamic. It doesn't feel as dynamic as wish it would. That as much as the manga I read. At the same time, when I try to make it dynamic or something like that, I'm not showing that much about the atmosphere. But it's my thoughts, just my thoughts. People like it, like it is what it is. So I shouldn't complain too much. It's hard to change the art style. Oddly enough, the art style is not really my big difference because if you look at my other comics, I can emulate art styles pretty well, or just switch up. I try to have like different styles for each of my comics, so and that keeps things fresh for me. The hard part is just learning like basic design enough to make it matter. I guess it's just uh, learning. Learning is probably difficult for me. I can imagine her just like waving her hand, like, yeah, whatever. It's like walking back. It's hard to, personally, if I could steal your sketchbook, I would. Ah, no, this is not going for sale. I'm not selling this sketchbook. This is going straight in the vault. Can you draw with your left hand? Nah. Snitch the second chapter. I'm only like this second chapter is like 30 pages long. And I'm making sure that's only going to be 30 pages because the reason why the last one was 34 was because of the beginning interlude. And now I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do like the illustrate the interludes anymore. I'm just going to have the poem and do a small little illustration on the bottom right corner and have a like on the bottom right corner and have like like a poem on the left side of the corner. You can take screenshots though. Oh yeah, you can if you buy the digital copies, you can see all of the thumbnails. Like I scan my thumbnails. I have like a scanner in my room. It's a high quality scanner, and I scan all the thumbnails. So if you buy the digital copies, you will essentially have the original a picture of the original thumbnails. If we could get 100 likes, would you consider left hand sketching? Yeah, let's get to 100 likes, and we can do and I can try a left hand sketching. It's gonna look bad. I hate it. There is. I also heard that it's a good idea to just be one to write with one hand instead of striving to be ambidextrous. To draw an entire page left-handed. I'm not gonna compromise I'll probably make a gag page and make that out with my left hand. I heard it's probably not good for the brain. To like, there's something good about having like having a priority imbalance. when it comes to that. I don't know the whole biochemistry behind that, or the what do they call it, the study of the brain, neurochemistry behind that. But I heard that it's better to just be left or right handed instead of trying to be ambidextrous. I don't know if anybody else has heard about that, but I have. Okay, layer residence. Okay, I'm gonna draw the layer residence again. Walk into the house. Okay, so let's see how much I gotta draw here. Golly, I hate how I draw things sometimes. Maybe I can make this like a double page spread because I have a lot of I have a lot of things. I think it's also because of how I written it, especially when it comes to like an interior shot, not exterior shot. So I'm sure I'm supposed to draw like their house. Actually, no, yeah, supposed to draw their house, and she's like ringing at the door. Let's see how if I do that. Let's see. So we'll have to try it out. So she'll have to try it like everyone else. I just know at the bottom thing she's trying to like walk past her sister. So what's happening now is she is so like the third eldest sister. She's coming home from work. So I would draw like within this double page spread. I would draw like the house around over here, and then I would have more options. Just having a conversation. There we go. There we go. The internet connection on my phone is not good. It is not good. So if I go out in any way, shape, or form, then you would know why. Okay, so wait. Oh, there's a fear thunderstorm coming by. That's anyway. Yeah, it's a bit laggy. I'm sorry about that. Maybe when I start getting more money from this, yeah, maybe when I start getting more money from this, I could uh, buy a better phone, buy a better things. Like probably the house, the eldest sibling, just like walking over here like this. It's all right. I said it anyway. Thank you. Good. Just walking in the house like this. I keep looking back because I'm afraid that it's always turning bad. Okay, can I ask you something? It's a slow day. Okay, so the I'm sure everybody knows what the layer resonance look like because we already seen this. So I'm gonna draw some semicircles, some things, and this blob right here is her. I like to imagine like the second eldest. If she would listen to any music, it would either be gangster rap, like '90s gangster rap, in Taylor Swift. I always thought that was kind of a funny thing. I almost forgot what she looks like though. Taylor Big. Well, wait. Oh, Red walks out the front. Okay, Red walks out the front door. She's. Oh, I can't read. I read the direction wrong. How can I read my own directions wrong? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. She walks out of the door. Oh, I keep hitting it. Gangstar Swift. Oh, and she's like, oh, maybe I should make her like a figure. Okay, so she's like big over here, but she's walking out of the door like this. I forgot who Taylor Swift was. You're good. Yeah, you. Let's keep it that way. Oh, she can probably be like, oh, I can probably do something like Swift Tang Clan. uh, where is it? Hey, Red. Oh. I should probably do like an introduction. Hmm. Her name, she was called Taylor Swift. Yeah, like a Taylor. I'm trying to think, because usually when introducing characters, they usually have like a full body thing. Actually, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. So I'll have a reaction. Like, oh, this is red right here. And she was like, hey, red. I often think of the speech bubbles last, but I really shouldn't, honestly. It's like, hey, red. Hey, hmm. Oh, hey, Christina. Oh, her name's Christina. Hey, Christina. That's fitting. I'll do a shot of her. Christina is the one with the most human characteristics out of all of her sisters. That's what I imagine. Well, not imagine. That's how I drew her. It's funny how I drew like a lot of my characters very last minute. But yeah, she still. I think she still has. Yeah, if I remember correctly, she still has wings. Last minute characters are the best ones. All of my. I think the vast majority of the characters that I draw are just last minute. And I was like, oh man, I need a these I need a face for these characters. Whatever. Actually, I think I can expand. I'll try to expand her. Make a note. I want her to kind of probably expand something like that. Maybe I'll have that like that. Ah, I didn't. You guys didn't see it. Dang. So that's what I drew. So she's like, "Hey, I didn't even. This is not even in the script." And I want her to be like, since I have more verticality, I'll make the panels a little bit more vertical. I want her to be like, I wanted to walk by her and say like, Dad, like it's a slow. It's been a slow day. Dad's not mad for you being late. I think what's kind of cool is how people can look at what I'm doing and have have like some sort of understanding of. I'm also not gonna like a stream for more than an hour on my because my phone is usually my phone is about to blow up when it's my phone usually is like a bomb before it even before I can even make something cool with it, or if I stream for like more than an hour. I'm writing a superhero story about a guy who gains power, but he doesn't really want powers, just wants to live a normal life, but crazy stuff keeps happening to him. Oh my god! Oh, that sounds cool. That reminds me of the Book of Jonah from the Bible, because Jonah is basically a prophet who doesn't want to be a prophet. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. If you haven't recommended it, I highly recommend it. It's really funny. The whole concept is essentially like a. It feels like a gag manga, where it's like God tells Jonah that he's a prophet and he needs to go to, I believe, Nineveh and say that everybody needs to repent for the kingdom of God is at hand. But throughout the whole story, Jonah's like, "That's cool, but I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. I'm gonna do something else instead." But no matter where he goes, he ends up proselytizing to everybody he meets out of like, and it's all completely by accident. So he like even when he's not even trying to, he fulfills God's will. And I always find that like such a funny concept. I think that's got to be one of my favorite books of the Bible. No spoilers, bro. I haven't got my hands on those yet. Now you can read it for free on the internet. Like, I'm Christian. I haven't gone to it yet, but I will soon. Just finished reading the Gospels, and I'm going back. Yeah, it's a like I it's really great. I think some of the more influential books to me, or kind of help me fulfill my understanding of reality, is the book of Ecclesi. I love the wisdom literature, but the book of Ecclesiastes have kind of got me into understanding. I say it's like kind of like Christian nihilism, in a way that like got me on my edgy phase, and I was like, actually, this is really cool. And also the Book of Judges. The one thing that I can, if I could like what was it? I can summarize the Book of Judges as being when people have it too good, they really forget where they came from. It's not like because you would have because in the Book of Judges, it's the Israelites constantly winning and they're suffering from success to the point where they just lost their entire identity and their covenant to God. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really matter who you think you are, honestly. When you forget when you forget your root, like having too much success will cause you to lose your roots, or it can make you lose your roots. We see it today a lot. People will take for granted all the cool stuff we have. Exactly. What was another cool book? I yeah, it's just I really love just talking about stories of the Bible. It's a shame because it's hard for me to read it. You know, when like I really get into it when people are able to summarize for me and tell me about like what's trying to say. I think it's just because how it's written. It can get me. I'm really into like traumatized stuff, and the book of the Bible, like the Bible, is written in a very timeless way. And I'm not saying like it's terrible at in any way, shape, or form. It's just the narrative the narrative structure is too slow for my Zoomer brain. It's like it's an audiobook, yeah. And like I remember every time I try to start reading the New Testament, you would get like the line of lineages, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna skip this because I don't. I know it's important of who begets who and whatnot, but I'm like, get to why get to the point of why I'm here, you know. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I feel like I'm a lot faster when it comes to thumbnailing, but I'm also just like talking to you guys at the same time. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like I said, I plan on doing this like when I'm on a cruise ship or when I'm on vacation, like next week. In well, actually in the next 5 days, I believe. So when I'm like out on vacation, I'm just gonna like zip by this as fast as possible, and also try to finish just a Reaper, the thumbnails of Just a Reaper, as well. I think the only reason they say it's the lineage names is to prove that it happened. Cruise ship, yeah, nice. Yeah, it was kind of a funny thing. My mom was like asking me, "Yo, you want to go on a cruise ship?" And I was like, "How much is it gonna cost?" And I'm like, she was like $600, and I'm like, "Dang, that must be nice to have $600." You guys have fun though, and she's like, "All right, but you're coming with us." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess I am." So I guess I'm going on a cruise ship in 5 days. Just gotta pack my bags and such. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough space for this. I've oh my, this is insane. Dude, the cruise is epic. Yeah, thank you. I think the last time I was on a cruise was a Disney cruise line, and I remember I threw up so much. I just threw up so much. I guess I didn't get my earn my sea legs. I didn't have my sea legs. Also, I noticed that I my characters have a lot of back and forth dialogue, and that's gonna take up a lot of space. I just noticed that. I just like my characters having like snappy back and forth dialogue. It probably reads better when you say it out loud, but when I write it down, it's like fills up a lot of space. Watch Bilbo crew stand-up session. Oh, oh, I haven't seen much of Bill Burr. I know he's a pretty good comedian. I just don't watch a lot of stand-up. It's just I just haven't like spent a lot of time looking for stuff like that. Man, I like their I like their dialogue. I don't want to cut it out either. I'll probably make this part a little bit shorter, move this up a little bit more, and have their like back and forth over here because they're like, I got. Can I talk to you about? She's like, can I talk to you about something? She's like, this can wait, but and they're like, no, our baby sister knows about the play. Does she like? Our baby sister knows about the play. She's like, I'm sure she does. And like, aren't you gonna give her a spot? And she's like, I'll no. She can work for it. And then like the next page, like they're having a back and forth talking about. Uh, I like this part because it's basically the middle youngest sister talking to the middle oldest sister, trying to convince the middle oldest sister of like giving her a part, basically because of nepotism. And the middle oldest is like, no, like she can get the part if she works hard enough. And the younger middle sister's like, well, that's not how the world works though. Like that's not how the world like that's not how the world works though. And she's like, what do you mean? And they, oh man, it's just I'm bound by the pages of this canvas. But I'll see what I can do. I think this I'm gonna draw the back of her head like this. Mason, let me snatch the sketchbook. What you can do is is go on my website and buy the chapters for like $5, and then then you can actually see what's inside the sketchbook. It's not. This is not hidden knowledge. you can you can write a funny uh you can write a funny one that is where the characters are saying a ton of dialogue, and you keep drawing the box smaller and smaller around them while they're smothered in words. I like that idea. Like the one gag that I usually do is that the characters say a lot of things, but it's all still contained inside the box. So the box is more the speech bubble is more or less just a texture, and sometimes they like when they keep talking, I when they keep talking, it's more of a the dialogue is more just a background. It's just more of a background texture than anything. But I like that idea. Smothering words. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's been an hour. I gotta get. Oh wow, my phone's getting pretty. My warm form's getting pretty warm. Gotta give this a rest. But oh, this was a test stream. We'll see how this goes. I think I'm probably gonna try this again Monday night. Hopefully, I'll have the energy. And I think I'm gonna work on Purgatory Academy. Gotta go too. Keep it up, man. Real cool stream. Thank you so much. Tell your friends. All right, later. And also sketches. Thank you so much. It was good yapping. Always have a fun time yapping. Peace. How do I turn this off? uh.